Um, First of all, my congratulations to Sri Ravi Gupta ji, the founder and CEO of Elets Technomedia, and thank you for organizing this wonderful program. And thanks to you for inviting me to this great occasion where we are a part of this transition from fossil fuel based to electric vehicles. My deep respects to Sri Sudhendu Sinha ji, who's advisor from the Niti Aayog, to Dr. Sapna Poti, who's a director from the Strategic Alliances with the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor. My respects to Sri Daurab Dalila, who is also from ICAT. Good to know the insights of what ICAT is doing on the present stage. So I represent myself, I represent the Gujarat Power Corporation Limited and also the North Gujarat Power Distribution Company. All of you must be wondering what is a power distribution company or a power corporation got to do with the rollout of electric vehicles. I know the electric vehicles are on road, but if you don't have the power, they cannot run. So like how a petrol pump or a gasoline station is very important for you to run your car on a fossil fuel based. For your electric cars to roll out on the ground, you need the power to be charged. So that is where we are there, and that is where we provide all the infrastructure to that. Having said that, I just want to throw some light into the kind of execution phase that we all are into. You must have heard from the two speakers who were introducing you to the policy level things, developmental stages, and also the certifications. I would be throwing some light on how and what are the facts of how the phase of the growth of the EV story in India is happening right now. I represent the state of Gujarat, so I would like to throw some light on how and enabling the policies are and how the industry is most welcome to expand your network in the state of Gujarat. So I'll just take some time to give you a electric vehicle landscape out there. So we are one of the top five states on which the EV transition is presently happening in the country. We are also giving a lot of SOPs and state initiatives to promote EV infrastructure and as well as the rollout of electric vehicles. We also have the largest electric vehicle manufacturing unit of Tatas, who are dominating the market as of now. About 70% of the EV vehicles in the Indian market is manufactured in Gujarat. We also have the biggest factory of the two-wheelers from Honda and the other from Nexa and Maruti Suzuki, who have been manufacturing the electric vehicles. So having said that, you can see that the present scenario of the rollout of electric vehicles, this graph simply says that is the curve says that the three-wheelers are the dominating ones in the present scenario. So that means your tuk-tuks and auto rickshaws are the most electric right now that is used for the common public infrastructure. Second, we have the two-wheelers, that is the electric scooters, electric motorbikes, the electric vehicles, the new ones which are on road, which the youngsters are using. And the third one is to show that it is greater than the national average. So we stand at a ratio of 32.14, whereas the national average is about 5.12. And the fourth one is a four-wheeler segment, that is your cars and your trucks and your mini vehicles and your SUVs and MUVs, which are slowly enabling, which stands as a ratio of 2.2. Having said that, the commercial vehicle segment is taking its own time to roll out on the ground. This is the same story in the states of say Kerala, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Karnataka, where the electric transitioning is also happening at a faster pace. If you see the kind of sale of electric vehicles that has happened on the ground, this will give you an idea of how the transition story is happening on the ground. We started off with 10,000 vehicles in 2021, grew up to 68,000 in 2022. It came up to 88,000 vehicles in 2023. And as of now, we have sold about 2 lakh electric vehicles on the ground over there. So that contributes about 5% of total India's electric vehicle rollout on the road as of now. And if you look at that, the two-wheelers contribute to a greater segment because the advantage of using a two-wheeler with a swap battery or with a charged battery is the life and the longevity on road is longer. If you look at the scenario, we have established about close to 500, to be precise, 476 public charging stations. So this is where the power corporation and the power distribution companies are establishing the charging infrastructure. If you look at the charging infrastructure is a major challenge in the rollout of electric vehicles. In a place like Delhi, if you look at the public service carrier like Blu-ray or the Blue Mobility, it runs within a span of say 40 kilometers. So you charge it in the morning and it keeps running till the evening. Whereas in a bigger states or in a states where you need to travel 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, one charge does not suffice. So you run for 100 kilometers, the charge is over. You don't have a charging station to come back. So typically what a common man does is he charges his vehicle, runs for 200 kilometers, then he thinks twice, can I go ahead or can I need to come back? So that is one segment where we all need to think on ramping up of the electric charging infrastructure all along the national highways, the state highways, and also, giving up stops to associate with the gasoline stations. So probably a tie-up with IOCL, HP, BP, and enabling them to have, fireproof, fire-safe charging infrastructure, or engaging the power distribution companies to provide charging infrastructures along the 11 kV poles, which is the latest technology that has come. In the UK, Switch does it that way. We charge it on the highways. We have electric poles coming up. In Gujarat, we are running a pilot and we've been successful in getting charges stations on the highway from the 11 kV pole lines. So this is just an example of how we are throwing it. The number of public infrastructure is coming up high, but the private people getting NOCs, getting the permissions to install charging infrastructure is becoming a big challenge. So that's about half of what the public infrastructure can come up. I would request the policymakers to give up some kind of enabling infrastructure from the Highways and Ports Department and also from the power distribution systems. So this gives an average of that. So the targets in Gujarat was to reach about 2 lakh electric vehicles in about 2 years. We've been mostly successful in reaching about 1,86,000 vehicles through SOPs. As part of the proposed new hydrogen policy, we have a mixed bag of mobility vehicles, starting from electric vehicles, green hydrogen vehicles, and also mixed hydrogen and electric combined hybrid vehicles. So the policy is quite enabling for us, and I would welcome the car manufacturers, electric manufacturers, the supporting infrastructure systems to come in and take this advantage. We have upcoming about 250 charging stations in the coming year. This is for the private sector. And under FAME 2, we have got another 268 that has been proposed. And under the public utility systems, we have proposed another 518 charging stations all along the roads and highways. Now, this is the nodal. So the Ports and Transport Department is the nodal department responsible for the implementation and review of the electric vehicle rollout in the state of Gujarat. I represent the Energy and Petrochemicals Department, where we provided all the charging stations and related subsidies and infrastructure required for the rollout. And third is Germany. There's an institute which is actively engaged in energy research and rollout of change of policies. Talking about this, the subsidy schemes which is available as of now for two-wheelers, we have about 10,000 electric two-wheelers to be provided. That has already been done. For the three-wheelers, we have already achieved the target and we are much ahead of the target as of now. Talking about electric buses, we've got about 350 electric buses that are running presently over 4 municipal corporations: Ahmedabad, Surat, Baroda and Rajkot. We plan to expand it by another 600 this year. So that touches about 1,000 electric buses. And this is all for the public transport, which I'm talking. The private buses might be coming up with better numbers. But by far, it has been the government that has been proactive and getting the rollout done on the ground. If you talk about the incentives for infrastructure, we give about 25% capital subsidy for public charging substations. So somebody wants to install a charging station on the roads, you're welcome to Gujarat. Put up your 75%, 25% comes from our side. So we give you a single window clearances for the establishment of charging infrastructure. And that's about 10 lakh rupees. For two-wheelers, 30% of the purchase amount. So suppose you purchase a vehicle for 1 lakh, 30,000 is going to come from the state exchequer. So that's like taking up, giving a push on the SOPs, which is done. As part of the Accessible India campaign, we also have the state government, which has rolled out e-rickshaws in all the pilgrimage places where people are visiting in huge numbers. So that provides a more bigger incentive and attractive utilization of the last mile connectivity in terms of your reach to the doors of pilgrimage places. Policy support, we from the distribution companies, the power discoms, we also operate inter-owned charging and battery swapping stations. We have started on with PESL, which is it's a Government of India subsidiary, which is coordinating with the power distribution companies as of now. We've also provided space for the private players to come take our permissions and put up charging infrastructure in the gas stations all along the highways. So that is how an electric vehicle owner will be treated at par with a person who is owning a petrol or a diesel car. We are also coming up in a few days for the hydrogen charging stations. We are in talk with the Ministry of Road Transport. As of now, I'm sure there is one in Faridabad, one in Haryana, one in Mumbai. So we are coming up with two more as a base apart from electric hybrid vehicles. We also have given away the NOC system, so it is for the more enabling atmosphere to come and put up charging stations in gas stations. The state distribution licensee, power distribution companies have been given the responsibility to roll out the charging of electric vehicles in an open space. GPCL also has India's first solar village. So we completely run an entire village on solar power, on a battery power. And we provide free electric charging to those vehicles visiting to those places. So now we have not gone into a quantifying role, but then as of now, we are providing free as an enabling infrastructure. In terms of new technologies, what are the provisions that we have? We have on-site energy resources and utilization of smart energy management software, which gives you an idea of what is the quantum of charge that every vehicle is charging on a daily basis, accumulating to a month or accumulating to a year. So that gives an idea of the power utilization or the charge utilization of each system. Battery innovations for faster charging and lower cost. I'm sure there are more technologies apart from lithium ion coming up right now, and we have newer technologies. Gujarat is a state which is coming up with, as far as presently concerned, India's largest battery manufacturing plant, that is by the Tatas. So that's a five segment gigafactory that's coming up in Ahmedabad. And we also have bigger players like Exide, Amaron, and others who are coming up with newer plants. G-Power also in the nearby sites. We are in the process of standardization of the open charge point protocol, which I'm sure is being deliberated well at the national level. But the standardization of policy all over the country is what is required as of now, so that it is like, having a common license plate all over the country. You have a common, charging protocol for all the vehicles also. So we also have a vehicle-to-home system, which is market-ready and bi-directional charging. So you charge it at home, you charge it at office, you charge it in the market. So we are coming up with a new system of providing more charging infrastructure. And I'm sure every person or even any person in this hall who's owning an electric vehicle has the biggest challenge for you. Where do I charge when I go 300 kilometers from here, right? So it is not the rollout of electric vehicles is a challenge. It is not the rollout of the number of cars that is manufactured. It is the number of places where you refill your car with electric power to keep moving. I think that is most required because, there is something called right of way in the national highways. If a national highway authority is not going to give you the right of way to install a charging station, you're heading nowhere. So I think as a policy support, you need to get these going in all those bus stations, in all those highway in motels or hotels, in your gas stations. I think this will enable the rollout of electric in the country. So what power distribution companies, we have electric lines all over the highways. We have electric lines all over the state highways. We have 765 lines, 66 kV lines. We have got 33 and 11 kV lines. We are coming up with a smart solution. Move your car, park your car, charge it in the electric pole, keep moving, right? So this is what we are experimenting right now. We are doing this in coordination with the UK through the smart system of Switch and the Gujarat Power. So I hope this would also become an example in the future days to come. But having said that, it has its own things and challenges to be rolled out, but we are on the experimental phase of doing this. Thank you so much. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to interact with you. And thanks for this wonderful opportunity to come here and be amongst all the August gathering out here. Thank you so much.